didn't realize it. In the videos, tagging Jay Williams, JD Delay, and Vic, blood on razor wire with Chad Marks. I'm just going to upload this short video to say thank you. I truly appreciate all they've done. And sharing, reaching out, helping me with, I'm doing a college project for prison reform. What ideas, things like that, how we can approach it, because I went back to school for forensic psychology, and I'm hoping to get some sort of change started through the prison system, because that's my opinion. It's one big thing is they need more more access, more resources. There's not enough of it, and that goes along every platform. This channel that I'm trying to get moving here to help people is geared towards first responder mental health, but it goes across all platforms. I mean, there's no, a police officer gets called to a domestic that turns very violent, and the guy goes to prison, the girl goes to prison, they leave, there's PTSD from prison, there's PTSD in the police officer, from the call, from the incident, there's PTSD, at the dispatcher level because they're taking this call. So it goes, I guess I could say I'm kind of neutral. I feel that there should be more resources, because there's no resources readily available to convicts that are leaving prison or even in prison. At the same token, I'm not a police officer. I don't want to be a police officer, really. I kind of just want to be, the thought process, the psychology part of it interests me. So I'm trying to get, like I said, reform start. I mean, everybody's been trying for years, and it's hard, but if we don't try, we can't succeed. I guess my point is, there's not available resources to first responders, inmates, or, anywhere in between. We can go seek it, the same as, anybody getting out of prison can go seek it, or even, kind of in prison a little bit. But who's going to pay for that? We're not offered free whatever, in jail, prisons are the same way. As much as we pay in tax dollars to everything, there should be more readily available resources. Absolutely should be. And there's not. Which is kind of why this channel, for me, is geared towards first responders, because we don't have any available, without paying for it. And for me to go talk to somebody to kind of relay, what you went through or what you saw, last time I checked on it was like $220 a session. Some were $400 a session. You get an hour. An hour if you're lucky. Who can afford that? Who can tell me that you can go and spend $400 an hour to try and better your mental health? Because it's affecting your daily life to where it's just absolutely terrible for you to even exist. Who's going to pay for that? I did a small video, I don't know if it was yesterday or whatever, but I did a little research and I came across this, it seemed to be the most, I guess, black and white, recovery website, and I'm not promoting them, I'm just referencing them because I did use their statistics. But yesterday, I found that out of 1,027 people that were surveyed, first responders, something like 46.8% had planned to unalive themselves and determine a location. That is insane. That you guys think prisoners aren't the same way, you're out of your mind. You know what I mean? I don't get how we as a society can deprive anybody from a little bit of mental health, let alone people they think are terrible because of something they did 20 years ago. That is ridiculous. Why can't I, after going to a vehicle accident, see a 3-year-old little girl smash between the seats because I'm just getting too excited? You get what I'm saying? We need reform all around the board, but my biggest focus as a career path is forensic psychology and trying to get in and give help to people that really need it, because it's not readily available. Rehabilitation, like I said, also across the board, and either way you look at it, is not offered readily. You can't take a guy or a woman that's been incarcerated for 10, 20 years. They do the same thing every day. They get used to a routine. They get used to, respect. That's something we don't have on the streets. Respect in prison. Then you come out here and expect them to just conform back to society? That's ridiculous. That's a thought that you shouldn't. I don't get it. You can't take, we don't, as a first responder, you can't just say, well, here you go. Sorry about your luck. You sucked. You saw something bad. And maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know our department, they did have us at one point, talk, but it was just in a group. I could be wrong, but I do not remember any affordable mental health resources, available at the time. I don't remember anybody. I don't know if it was just me. I didn't want to talk about it. Now here I am. I suppressed it for years and years and years and years, and I didn't even realize I was doing it. I turned into a raging alcoholic because my mind was just on this stupid shit that I should have been able to call out for or reach out for, years ago. So now here we are, 2023, and just 2 years ago, I'm addressing this, I'm starting to address this issue. 2021, okay? That's when I had I had a bad reaction to Lexapro, which prompted me to stop drinking. 2 years, people. 2 years after I quit drinking. Actually, it's been 2 years, 2 months, and 8 days since I quit drinking. It took me that long to do this. I have a couple small videos, they were longer, but that I tried, and I just could not do it. I couldn't talk. I couldn't, I tried to think about it. I couldn't remember some things, and other things I couldn't forget. And that could have all been avoided by simply having affordable mental health care. So what I'm getting at is, all these guys that you see, Jay, Chad, Ian Beck, JD, they're all preaching, resources. They're more on, their channel's focused on a little, other different things, and I'm just saying my opinion. I feel mental health is very important because it sneaks up on you and you don't even realize it. One day you come home, from a horrific incident, and next thing you know, it's 15 years later, and 14 of those 15 years, you drank 3/5 a week and 2 half gallons on the weekend. 2.5 half gallons of bourbon whiskey. Yeah, that was me. That was dumbass right here. Until I have this bad reaction with Lexapro, I have to go to the hospital, which I don't even remember because I had serotonin syndrome that caused me to have some sort of psychosis that I forgot everything. Well, not everything, but most things. And then I get told, hey, your liver enzymes are elevated. Oh, imagine that. I can't believe they're elevated. Wonder how that happened, Doc. I mean, come on. And then when I proceed to say, oh, this is why I drank, or this is why I think I developed, the problem that I had, I'm not knocking the healthcare system. I'm not knocking where I went, because these people were fantastic. More specifically, the doctor that I had that night went out of her way to try and help me get whatever I needed. She did absolutely 100%. Tried to find every affordable mental health doctor, place of treatment that was out there. She did. She gave me 110% of her time. I commend her for that. I truly do. But in the end, I couldn't even do any of it because they wanted you to do, come to meetings every day or 3 times a week for 2 hours. And now listen to this, because this is my next point I'm getting at in this video. At noon, 11 o'clock, okay, noon, they want you to try and help your problem, addiction, what have you, at noon. That's great for people that are in inpatient rehab and they're struggling severely. But guys that work, I said, I still have to go to work. I said, yeah, I may have a problem that I kept secret, a closet drank, but I still can't miss work. It wasn't like I was drinking at work, thank God. But I drive for a living, so I couldn't drink at work. But what do you do? How do the guys, the women, the youth, the adolescents that hold down a 40-hour week job go to a counseling session at noon 3 times a week? Maybe jobs are different. I don't know. Over the years, I'm 34, and I don't ever remember a job giving you that amount of time. I could see once a month, or even twice a month, they'll give you a day, the whole day to go, do whatever. But I can't see 3 times a week. That's just crazy. But who am I? I don't know. You guys let me know. But get back to the whole affording it and all that. It's just, it's crazy. I don't understand how they justify it. How do you justify trying to help somebody? Oh, we'll give you a hand. We'll help you beat your addiction, but it's going to cost you 20 grand. We'll keep you in here, for 6 weeks, inpatient rehab. We can't turn you away right now. But we don't get that payment, you're out the door. How is that helping somebody with their addiction? Or how is that helping somebody with their mental health? You're not. You can't move about society. You can't be a functioning, productive member of society when you're just miserable inside. Like I said, it took me a long time to even to get the. I was embarrassed. I was very embarrassed that I was an alcoholic. Well, I am, I guess. Not was, because I don't drink. I can't. I refuse to solely on the fact that my little girl said one day to me, "Why you drink so much, Dad?" And I don't like feeling like shit either. Plain and simple. It's nice to not have to wake up and not have a hangover every day. And it's nice to wake up and be able to sleep normal. You think you're sleeping when you're drunk and blacked out, but you're not. You're just, that's your body shutting down, is all that is. Because that poison's running through your veins, baby. I don't care what anybody says. Alcohol is the most addictive, dangerous, legal drug there is. And I think they do that for a reason. I could be wrong, but that's, once again, my opinion. The only 2 things that you can die from withdrawal alcohol and benzodiazepines. Well, what did they give me for alcohol withdrawal, you might ask? Benzodiazepines. Let me tell you a little secret about those benzodiazepines. That, my friends, is a wonderful drug. Just kidding. Actually, it did help me. It helped me a lot. Now, I can see how people get addicted to benzodiazepines. I myself never was. I was always, I don't like, I'm not saying too much, it's just a little hypothetical side note. I was always a stimulant guy. Could never figure out really why, I liked it, but I could never figure out the hype. And then I went to the doctor for the Luxembourg thing, and I went to see a psychiatrist because they're, through different tests they did and whatever, they said, hey, I think you have ADHD. So I went and got tested. Legitimate tests. Like I went through, took tests on a computer. I did, different remembering what color was here, what was there. I need you to go out, sweep the driveway, cut the grass. They gave me a whole list and went real fast. I said, whoa, you gotta stop. So, to me, a stimulant, all it does is it calms me down, makes me able to concentrate. I didn't know any of that before. I didn't know how ADHD worked. I didn't, this whole silver lining I have from this terrible experience with Luxembourg, it was a huge learning point for me. I learned so much. I mean, I knew about different drugs and uses and things like that from fire EMS. I knew how to recognize those things. I knew, what can be given and what can't be given to try and help counteract. But I never thought for a well-being sense. I never thought about I wonder if I have ADHD, or I wonder if I have this problem. And I wasn't depressed. I was never really depressed. I wasn't like, I wanted to sit in a room all day or just, I don't even know how to explain it. I was sad, not depressed, if that makes sense. I didn't feel bad for myself. I didn't have like a self-loathing, oh poor me thing going on. I didn't talk or do things or seek mental health treatment because one, like I said before, it was very expensive. And two, I always felt like I was burdening people. Like I didn't want to put that on somebody. And I've been married to my wife for 8 years. I have been with her for 13 years. So for those whole 13 years, up until 2021, there were things about different incidents I was at that I never even told her. So until this psychosis, I guess I just became an open book, which, like I said, is a silver lining. That's a good thing. I needed to get it out, I guess. Who knows? Now all I can say is, man, you gotta trust sometimes. You gotta trust people that they're gonna lead you in the right direction. And we have to change the cost. I know I kind of totally went off in the other direction on this, but that was my whole point of getting a hold of Mr. Williams, Mr. Marks, Mr. Rick, Mr. Delay, JD. Jay's supposed to have a contact today. He is a phenomenal person if you need help. He has his own recovery companies, his own resources that will guide you through it. He's not going to treat you like a piece of crap and belittle you or judge you. Guys like that is what we need more of. And that's what I'm trying to do on the first responder aspect of it, because this is how it kind of correlates to JD. What I'm kind of thinking in my mind is if first responders are able to get the help they need before they get to the point that they have to go see JD. If you can help one person in life, one person not go to a substance to help your problems, you're doing good. And believe me, it's very, very powerful thing, and it's very, that's what I'm looking for, self-gratifying to be able to fight that demon without, outside substances or, any articulation from the outside. Anything that causes you to go down that path, you're too gone. You've reached the point of no return, so to speak. You're past the point of, help isn't going to work for you after you start. You have to stop addiction first, is what I'm saying. If you've developed some sort of substance abuse disorder by the trauma you experienced, then you got to get rid of that first, and then you can talk about it. Speaking from experience, because I had to quit drinking before I could talk about what I felt. Because if I was drinking, some guys get mad. Some guys drink because they want to forget, and I was the opposite. I drank to forget, but to be happier. If I didn't drink, I would bawl. There was just days I would think about shit, and I would cry. And I don't know why. I mean, I know why in a sense, but I don't know really why. And that's why I wanted to go back to school for psychology, because I have my own stuff too. And if I can help people through it, why not? Why not make it affordable? I live off the income that I make now. The economy sucks. It's paycheck to paycheck. So it's not like I'm going to become a millionaire being a psychologist. Or even if I don't, go that far. Excuse me. And, you get a counseling degree first, which I have, I can't tell you how many credits towards that. If I can help in the prison system, or have people from the prison system, I'm able to be contracted through outside service or whatever, at least I'm helping. At least I'm trying to change things. We cannot go every single day as, traumatized human beings and expect other people to be like, oh, well, what's his problem? He's a dickhead. Well, no, I'm just blowing the f*** up inside. Pay attention to people's cues. Read them. Have a little compassion. I had... Oh, God, I don't even know how long it was. It was July 13, 2008. At 3:20, 3:18, 3:27, I can't remember exact time. But just reference that. That'll be a later story. But from there to 2021 to now, I want to say in May this year, me and my wife were talking about something, and I said, you know what? I said, my middle daughter, she's 7. Her birthday's in June. I said, yeah, Emma's turning 7. And I just stopped talking. She's like, what? And I'm like, oh my God, I remember now. I had suppressed this memory so bad. And I hope, at that point, I didn't even know what was real, what wasn't real, because that's how bad you think you screw it up. Your head screws up so bad on you, you don't even remember what happened. She's turning 7. What I remember was that in that date, there was a little girl that was 7 years old. And I'll save it for another video, but that little girl was in a bad position. Someplace she never should have been. And I started to, I've never hugged my wife or hugged my little girl so hard, you know. I just cried. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but, you know, I'm glad I did. I'm glad because there was always a part of me, and there's still lots of pieces of the puzzle that haven't come back yet. But she helped me. You know, remembering her helped me to process whatever, and now it's easier. I'm sure a lot of you do. I hope it reaches you because that's the point. The amount of confidence I had to muster up to do this, to talk about this, and I just gave a small glimpse, a date and a girl. 2 years. Reality 15, but 2 years. Over 2 years. That's how long that was stuck back here. I gotta take a drink of my giant bottle of Diet Pepsi. I don't want any trademark issues, so I do not endorse Diet Pepsi. I just like your soda. Point being, we can't get better if the help's not available. And we can't get better in recovery if the help's not affordable. So what do? Try and help each other the best you can. You know, be like JD the way. He's out there trying, like he's not. It's not a money-making thing for him. He legitimately cares about people. And it goes back to the felon stigma. That's stupid. This man went out on a limb and pretty much gave his entire post-incarcerated life to helping, truly meaning and helping. I gotta give him, for real. I mean, I don't know him on a personal level. I don't know any of these guys on a personal level by any means. But you can tell, you can see in a person's attitude in their eyes and how they act that they mean it. They mean well. I know I said this was going to be a short video, but you know, they want to help you. And I would like to say, in a good, perfect world, which we all know we live in one of those, right? That if you would go seek psychiatry or psychology help, that they would want to help you genuinely too. But I don't think they do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they do, but they don't. They have more than just you. Whereas with JD, I've noticed he may have more than you, but he's going to show you what you deserve. You're going to get that individual attention. Attention. And you may not get that with a commercial, you know, like a hospital therapy setting, or, you know, because I've been to several. And some of them, group therapy is not for everybody. So that's the first thing, at least for me, from my experience, was the first thing they pushed was group therapy. I'm like, I don't want to talk to 10 people or 12 people. Hell, I don't even want to talk to you. What makes you think I'm not going to talk in front of them? So, you know, like the 12-step program for alcoholism was something I never did. I did it on my own. Some people can't do that. And I'm not gloating or don't think it that way. Excuse me. I'm simply saying my way of helping with my addiction problem was doing it on my own. Because I couldn't talk about my addiction without talking about what led me into it. And the reason I couldn't talk to people about it is because everybody always says, you know, before I say this, I don't mean any ill intent, believe me, but everybody always says, I understand. But do you really understand? Were you in my position? Like, I don't understand, you know, addiction to meth. JD, I don't. You know, I don't understand addiction to heroin. Jess might. She's another one that good with, worked with JD. She would, I don't know. I mean, she wasn't addicted to heroin either, but I just don't know. I know alcohol. I know, unfortunately, too much about it. You know, you hear Jay talk about it all the time, about, you know, before he drinking in his videos when he was younger, blacking out, not remembering how he got there. That's me. That was me. The only thing is, I did it at home. And then I would, like, who knows? Walk somewhere. I never drove that I'm aware of. Walk somewhere, do whatever. And I guess the bottom line is, if we would have had help before this, or somebody to, you know, a little bit to talk to, it would have been different. And I'm no different than anybody else that you see in this community of recovery reform. I just didn't get caught. That's the difference. Doesn't make me any better than anybody else. I just did stupid shit. I was lucky enough to not get caught, where some other people weren't as fortunate as me. Or I guess. I don't know. You know, me not being caught, I think, led me to a longer recovery, or addiction and then recovery. And you know, had I been caught sooner, or gotten a DUI or something, you know, because I don't remember drinking. I'm not saying I never have. I just tried really hard not to, because I drive a truck and I had a CDL. I have a CDL. And I don't know. Could have been different. Nobody knows. Hindsight's 20/20, I guess, but we can't keep going as a society and forcing people, especially prisons, these guys to live in terrible conditions. You know, I know some were, you know, I can't speak. I've never been to jail or prison. Like I said, I was just fortunate enough to not get caught. But I can't speak on who belongs there, who don't belong there, what are they doing. That's not my job. That's not my place. My place is from the outside, that as an outside person, that I have, you know, researched and looked into this stuff for years, because I've always been interested in crime, true crime. More how people think, or why they do what they do, other than the crime itself. But I'm not an idiot. I can see that these people aren't treated very well. And there's guys that go to prison for non-violent crimes that are treated, they have life sentences, and they're treated just as bad. That makes you a violent person. I'm not saying that I'm Mr. Goody Two-Shoes or anything, believe me. And I'm not a tough guy. I told Jay this story yesterday. And when I was a young kid, I remember getting smacked. I thought, don't ever underestimate the little guy, because, you know, this kid was, I don't know, 5'5", $120, and he hit me so hard, I thought, you know, like, I'd never been hit that hard. So, I don't know. I don't know how else to approach it, other than you know, what these guys have started is amazing. They're great people, and, you know, mental health as a whole in society definitely needs addressed a lot more. Because if we can prevent substance abuse by addressing mental health first, and one person, you did something. By putting people in these bad situations, like in the prisons. You know, you You're not gonna be, wild and crazy, wild and out and shit if you're able to eat. If you're able to, okay, you did something bad, you're going to the hole. Well, I'm a big advocate against solitary confinement. I don't think it's right. Even let's say we all agree that it is for 20 days, 10 days, 20 minutes. Not this 3 years, 6 months, 10 years bullshit. No, that's too long. A human being is not meant to be put away by themselves. We need, and I'm not saying that everybody in prison is a good person or everybody in prison is a bad person. Don't take any of that. Don't take any of that as, I don't mean that. All I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if you're the worst of the worst or a convict with a non-violent offense. It's not humane or right to put a human being by themselves with no human contact for years on end. That's crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. Instead of doing that, why don't we talk and say, hey, what's bothering you, bud? Maybe old Johnny over here can have a conversation with me and we can chat. Why do you feel like stabbing that guy, man? Instead of saying, well, you stabbed that guy and now you got no charge. Well, why do you feel like doing that? Talk, let me know what's up. And don't be, I'm being kind of sarcastic, but take these people seriously. Take everybody seriously. What's not a problem to you is a problem to them. It may not seem big to you, it's big to them. Show a little empathy. Show a little bit of compassion. I mean, put yourself in their shoes. And I've talked about it with my own friends, and we're not any better than the next guy. We just didn't get caught. The sooner we realize that, better off we are. Just don't judge people. Don't be mean. Dude, why can't you just live in harmony? Yeah, I get there's some disagreements, and there's a lot of things that you can, get into an argument over. But squash it. You gotta punch each other in the mouth, shake hands afterwards. Don't go suing anybody. I've never been that type of guy. In today's day and age, I don't know how the young kids are doing. From what I understand, 17-year-old kids get in a fight. Their parents are soon happy. Why can't you just fight it out, squash your problem, shake hands, walk away? Why can't you just go as a 17-year-old and say, hey, Mom, Dad, I got something I'm feeling bad about, but I really don't know what it is. And then go to a psychologist, and then they automatically give you some sort of runaround diagnosis, or they're not sure. Well, let's just try this medicine. Well, that's what happened with me. Let's just try it. And I'm not faulting the doctor or anybody else for it, because it's a very highly successful medicine. But the point is, there's cognitive therapy, behavioral therapy is a thing that can really help before pushing antidepressants or whatever. And then it goes the same. Like I said, they all cross unilaterally back to the prison system, the justice system, first responders, and their duties. It all goes together. We should all try and help. Be kind. Be nice. Just live life like you. Do you? Excuse me. Who cares if people are doing what they want to do? Who cares if people are gay? What's wrong with that? If a man meets another man, it ain't my thing, but you know, I don't have, I have a beautiful wife that I love, and I'm not, you know, who cares? If he likes another man, I have a cousin that's gay. He's the greatest freaking guy on the earth. You know why? Because he doesn't judge people. That's why he's a good dude. He doesn't care what happened, what you do doesn't affect him. He does not give two shits whether you want to be gay or you want to be pink or you want to be, I don't even know. I'm just getting angry again. He don't care. That's what makes him a great, awesome person. He doesn't let what other people do make him angry. And if we all kind of followed his suit, I think we'd be a little happier society. And here's the kicker. He works in the corrections system. And he flat out tells these people, hey, not me, you like it, you cool, if not, whatever. And he's like, well, I know I can't fight. So if I beat you up, you got a lot of trouble in there, pal. He's just happy. He doesn't care. And there's no reason to judge anybody like that. One day we'll all be in the same pot one day or another. And I've run enough first responder calls that when you get there, it doesn't matter whether you're pink, black, white, purple, orange. I can promise you, take this to heart. Listen to me closely. We are all the same on the inside. Trust me. Take that how you want it. But things like being gay or race or, okay, I take that back. Sexual preference. When it comes to being in an accident, or it doesn't discriminate. It really doesn't. You can drink and drive, and that tree's still going to rip you in half, whether you're white or whether you're not, whether you're black or whether you're not, whether you're purple or whether you're not. That tree doesn't care what color you are. Why should we care? That tree doesn't care what sexual preference you have. Why should we care? We shouldn't. So quit freaking worrying about it. Just mind your business. It all goes back to mental health. It's a full circle, my friends. It's a full circle. Just address the issue before it gets out of hand. Maybe we can reform, you know, just one jail. And I guess I can't use that reference because jails are an intermediate place. One prison. Maybe you can take one prison and give it the care that it needs and that these guys deserve, so they're not made to be worse human beings because of violence or whatever. Why don't we try that and see how, well, you know, what the results are? Could you imagine? Could you imagine giving a prison facility the proper care that it deserves? The proper funding it needs? And actually having a positive result? Oh my God! These people would lose their minds. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know. How come these guys are good? They're not fighting with each other. Or, yeah, because they got what they needed. Because they have food. Because they can go to bed at night and not worry about getting killed tomorrow. Because they can go to bed and not worry about the shit that's been bothering them for 20 years. That's why. We can use our brain. Use your brain. You know that old adage, work smarter, not harder? Take that. It goes a long way. You don't need violence for everything. I'm not saying that you don't need violence, because by all means, if you're in a predicament, you got to stand up for yourself. I'm the same way. Stand up for yourself. Absolutely. Don't back up. So my dad always taught me to, you know, don't ever take people's aggression and just, you know, if you can avoid the confrontation, absolutely. But if you can't, don't run away like a little scared kitty, because real life in my aspect kind of gets back to the same thing in prison. You know, you show weakness, they're going to take advantage of it. And I grew up in a place where, you know, it's a small rural town. So if you let somebody beat on you or pick on you, they ain't going to beat on you just once. They're going to keep doing it over and over and over. And that's what leads to mental health problems. And that's what leads to problems at home. And that's what leads to problems in school. And that's what leads to delinquency, criminal behavior in juvenile, adolescent, and adult. It's all stems from mental health. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to let you guys go. This has been 45 minutes of me ranting about in a kind of a full circle. But shout it out, man. Check out JD Delay, Jay Williams, Chad Marks, Ian Beck. I know you guys know who he is. I don't know if maybe I can get out to more people because, like I said, these guys, it's nice they're not about the money. They're actually about helping you. Chad, he's a paralegal, or he might even have a law degree. I can't remember exactly. Forgive me, Chad. But he helps people that can't afford an attorney. Like that's what he does. He helps human beings as a human being with their legal paperwork and things like that. He's a great dude. Jay does the same stuff. I can't tell you how many people, I don't know how close people pay attention to his videos, but over the years I've watched him. And talking to him last night even. Just the amount of help that these people give back to the community, it's crazy. So much love to you guys. And respect these guys. I respect these guys with 100. Because they're proof that this stupid stigma of everybody that went to jail bad is not true. Let's just work together. Let's be happy, be kind, and always love each other. If you need help, reach out. Do not let your mind by itself. Let's help. Let's get better. I'll talk to you next time.